Here's some video from my March runs. So far I'm almost 1/4 of the way done in my quest to do all 550 miles of the AT in Virginia and West Virginia. This month we had 2 runs. The first was a wet, cold slog over the top of Dragon's Tooth. The second was a much more pleasant 25-miler from Petites Gap to Bearwallow Gap. Keep tuned, I'll keep you up to date on my progress.
Starting our run today in the rain. This section of trail was closed last weekend because of a forest fire. Now we're actually at flood stage here, and some roads are closed because of flooding. Fortunately, there's a little footbridge over this part of the creek. I'm trembling already because I'm cold and wet. It's going to be an interesting day. Well, I made it up to Dragon's Tooth. This is my second time up here. I was up here about 7-8 years ago. Back then it was snowing, so I couldn't see stuff. Now it's raining, fogged in, even a little bit of sleet in the air. But we made it. As you can see now, we got some mixed precipitation. Up there in the top of the ridgeline is the Dragon's Tooth, and the ridgeline off to the right is what we came along. Then we came down, had a couple of stream crossings, a couple of cow fields, a couple of cows. We're probably about 5 miles from the finish here. All considering it's a cold, nasty, wet day, but hey, we're doing it. We've almost made it back. It's now starting to sleet and snow. Sometimes the rain picks up on the ridge and becomes horizontal sleet, but we're just a little ways from the car and a hot meal. What do you think, Larry?
Yeah.
Okay, to show that there's no justice in the world, we spent 6 hours out in the friggin' rain. As soon as we get off the trail and come here to eat, the sun is about to break through. Good morning. It's about 7:30 in the morning, 36 degrees. We're here at Petites Gap, and today's objective is Bearwallow Gap, 25.3 miles away. This will be my longest run so far on my quest for the AT. And I'll just see how I'm doing. You know, in May I'm going to try to do the 107 miles across Shenandoah in 4 days, so I'll be doing 26.5, 27.5 a day then. This will tell me what kind of shape I'm in for that. It's kind of breezy, it's cool, but it's supposed to go up into the mid-50s today. We're at the top of Thunder Ridge in the Thunder Ridge Wilderness, looking down on Arnold Valley, Lexington, pan around, there's the trail, couple down trees. It's been windy and wet here this spring. Hey, but so far we're having a good run. You always find new things on the trail. This is the brand new outhouse at the Thunder Hill Shelter, which we should be at in just about another 50-60 yards down the trail here. Time for my first food break. We've gone about 5 miles. Here's a landmark on the trail. This is called the Guillotine, and you can see why. Waiting to fall on your head. We're just below the summit of Apple Orchard. Well, I made it to the top of Apple Orchard Mountain, 4,270 some odd feet high. If you're northbound on the AT, you won't be this high again until you get into New Hampshire and the presidentials. There's higher stuff to the south of us, though, at Mount Rogers and in the Smokies. But this is a high point, and there's a FAA radar dome up here. It's only about 10 miles from my house as the crow flies, but I don't see any crows flying out here today, so I better get hopping on down the trail. Every New Year's morning, the Deho Kingdom has their run up to here. Start early. It's usually cold. Sometimes there's snow. One of the mottos of the Deho Kingdom is, it never always gets worse. Well, I've just come 7 miles uphill. I thought that was a little bit bad, but now I got about a 9-mile downhill section, so just like they say, it never always gets worse. Now we got some easy downhill. This is the Bryant Ridge Shelter on the AT. This was actually constructed by Blue Ridge Timber Frame Construction, the same people that did the frame for our house. It's quite the structure. 3 sleeping levels. Has a loft up there. And with the date on here, I don't know if you can see that carved in, the 1992, same style as the 1994, carved and dated on our house. BRTF, Blue Ridge Timber Frame Construction. Bryant Ridge Shelter. I'm heading up Little Cove Mountain. It sounds like I'm talking funny because I got a Jolly Rancher in my mouth. Looks like there was a forest fire up here. I think this area was closed last spring for some wildfires. I can hear a train off in the distance, and I see some tracks down there. I think those are the tracks that go by Camp Bethel. I'm only about 3 miles out now from Bearwallow Gap. Feeling tired, but I know I'm going to make it. Well, I made it to Bearwallow Gap. Actually got here half an hour early, waiting for my ride. I'm kind of disappointed. I don't see any bears. I really wanted to wallow with them. Oh well, it was a good day. 25.3 miles. And hey, I'm still standing and I'm still smiling. See you next month on the trail.